Councilmember Leslie Robson.
I'm here.
Councilmember Paul Stovall.
Present.
Councilmember Elmer Vite.
Present.
All right. I would make note that one of our council members is out of town, I believe. So Mr. First is up here on the computer with us this evening, and he will be voting through our city clerk remotely. I tell you what. All right. We will do our Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm going to ask our friends from Lifeline, would you lead us in the pledge this evening? All right, that'll take us down to the approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
A motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion? All in favor? And that is unanimous. All right, first up, we have our Lifeline council dog. Come on up and tell us who our council dog is this evening. Eva. No worries.
Currently, we are housing 574 dogs with nearly 40 new dogs just yesterday. Oh, thanks. Our shelter is at full capacity, and adoptions and fostering are crucial to help us manage this crisis. There are various adoption options available. Right now, we're offering free adoptions for all pets until Sunday. Additionally, dogs aged 7 years or older, as well as those who have been with us for 100 days or more, can be adopted for free. If you're not ready to adopt permanently, we have several foster opportunities available. These range from Dog for a Day program to Weekend Warrior to more long-term foster options. Please consider visiting us at 3280 Chamblee Dunwoody Road or learn about our efforts at lifelineanimal.org. Thank you for inviting us to your meeting today.
What do we know about Eva?
Eva has been with us for about 6 months. She's about 2 years old. She is spayed. She's ready to go. She's a level 1, which is the lowest level dog. We go anywhere from 1 to 5. 5 mostly being our dangerous animals that we have there. She is absolutely the greatest. She goes out for Dog for a Day, but nobody keeps her longer than that. I mean, they all love her, but they just don't have the ability, the home life to get her right now, but her family's out there. So
Like she's taking a shine to John there.
she's modeling. Look at her.
You may need to call your wife first. Well, thank you for bringing Eva.
Thank you for
over
having
with
us.
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold
Say
on.
bye. Okay.
It's not just the Brian show.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Say bye. Okay. Bye.
So, Councilman First wants to know what was the status of last month's dog.
Still there.
Still there.
With 40 new dogs that just came in yesterday by ACO. So it's like Eva, we get our number, we get 5 out, we get 10 in. So it's just getting ridiculous. So yeah, we're working on it though.
So good work.
Yeah, thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great day.
If you're looking to add a member to your family, they're right down the street. Thank you. Bye, Eva. All right. Happy fella. Happy girl. All right. Next up on the agenda, we have the 2023 audit results presentation. Who's doing that this evening? Julie.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I would like to present our auditors, Malden and Jenkins. They're here to present our results.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for having me. As Julie said, I'm here from Malden and Jenkins to present the results of the December 31st, 2023 audit. This is a snapshot in time at 12/31/2023. First slide, let's go to the next slide here. This is about Malden and Jenkins. We've been around over 100 years now. We invest a lot of time and energy in state and local government audits. We service over 725 governments across the Southeast, and everyone that works on the city's audit spends their entire year doing nothing but city, county, state agencies, development authority audits. I don't do any tax work. I do governmental audits all year long, so we invest a lot of time and energy and bring a lot of expertise to the city's audit. Will Durzis was here. He's new this year to the city. We had him come on, and he kind of worked with Julie. He was out here day to day taking care of, all the audit and all the work that goes into it, and I was the partner kind of ultimately responsible. So we had Will come in. He's a director with the firm. He's just kind of a fresh set of eyes to look at things. The statements are the responsibility of the city's management. Our objective as your external auditor is to express an opinion. We followed all the generally accepted auditing standards and government auditing standards, and we did issue an unmodified or a clean opinion, which is what you'd hope to get. So as far as we're concerned, your statements are materially correct. We also issue a report on compliance and internal control. We come in and we walk through all your cycles of how you receipt cash, how you disperse cash, how you process payroll, how employees onboarded, how employees terminated, just all the cycles of the city. We walk through your controls. We look at primarily, segregation of duties. We try to make sure that one employee is not handling multiple components of a cycle, and you have good segregation of duties. You have a clean opinion there as well. We also, excuse me. Oh, I just went through that. This slide, if I was on council, do we have any unusual or aggressive accounting policies or estimates? You don't. They're disclosed in the notes. We kind of look at them. Your estimates are mostly your useful life of capital assets, and your actuaries use assumptions to estimate your net pension liability. But you're in the agent plan. Everybody, all your neighbors are in the same plan. They all have the same assumptions, so we feel pretty good about them. Now, we did implement GASB 96 this year. That deals with subscription-based IT arrangements. The city has them. They were not overly material. You ultimately didn't have anything to record, but the finance department did comb through all the agreements that we have to make sure we implemented that standard appropriately. We have a good relationship with management. The audit, it just kind of goes how it's supposed to go. We come in and we ask for a lot of information, not only from finance, but all departments. We visit all the departments, and we get everything we ask for. Nothing seems hidden or covered up, and so we appreciate the city, partnering with us and investing their time and resources to get the audit done annually. We didn't have any audit adjustments. We get a trial balance from finance department. We do our thing. We audit it, and we didn't have any adjustments, and that's definitely not the norm in local government. So hats off to Julie and her team. They do a great job keeping the books and getting everything ready for us to audit. And we are independent. We don't post journal entries. We don't reconcile bank accounts. We don't do any bookkeeping that we get compensated for that might influence the clean opinion that you received. The next few slides are just kind of financial trends. This is your general fund, and then all your other funds. It's your fund balance, or 5 years. The orange bucket is mostly capital project funds, and that bucket was sky high when we issued the bonds to build this place, and then we spent that money down. So that's the trend down. In the red and in the blue, the fund balance has been fairly consistent. Revenues are strong these days, so the blue is, been pretty consistent, trickling up a little bit. This slide is probably the most important slide. It's your fund balance in your general fund compared to your annual expenses. And the GFOA is the standard setting body for local government. They recommend 2 to 3 months at a minimum. And so we're, we're at 56%. We were a lot higher. Some of the big bump up was the CARES money we got during COVID. We used that to fund our public safety payroll. That's what most everybody did with it in Metro Atlanta. And so that was a lot of the bump, and then we've just kind of trickled back down from that infusion, like one-time cash that we received. Hopefully we don't ever see that again. And these are your enterprise funds, the stormwater and sanitation. They're billed on the taxes, and we're mostly just recouping our costs and our maintenance. We did increase our rates in 22. That's the big uptick in the blue, and the big downward blue was we had a big maintenance repair item in 2021. So it's pretty flat there, and what we see typically with stormwater and sanitation funds in small local governments, they just, pretty much break even. So, and then we have 2 management comments. The purchase card approval, we had 3 transactions we couldn't find approval for. This is kind of an overlap from last year. The finance department, I think we had some turnover and we implemented some policies and procedures. So I think this has already been addressed by management. This is maybe just a little bit of overlap from the comment we had last year. We fixed it, after this presentation, and we did a sample this year, and a couple of them, prior to this presentation were in our samples, so we found the same errors. So still, I think it's been addressed, but we just highlight to management. And then this year at capital assets, this one is new. We looked at the capital asset software depreciated land, and land's not a depreciable item, and there were a couple other things in there that got depreciated that maybe shouldn't have been, or they got classified incorrectly. So we just want to make sure the city's, reconciling our capital assets and monitoring that on a, monthly basis, quarterly basis. They weren't big dollar numbers, so we just want to let you be aware of it. But overall, everything was clean. We do have a government advisory service. It's been around 4 or 5 years now. It's headed by our partner that used to work for KPMG. They do a lot of niche projects for local government. They kind of fall in these 4 budgets. The big ones are operational assessments. They're very transactional based. They come in and they just look at how we're operating, how we're using our resources. It could be one department. It could be citywide, all departments. There's a lot of niche projects. If that's something the council is ever interested in hearing more about, I'd be happy to connect you with that partner. And we also offer cybersecurity and IT as well. We look at, what information do we have and how might that potentially be exposed and what are we doing to, protect that data. They do a lot of penetration testing and just, testing our cybersecurity framework and protecting the data that we have. And Gatsby's always busy. These are the new accounting standards coming up. The last 2 years, we had 87 and 96. They were huge standards. Gatsby's kind of given us a break the next couple years. There's really nothing major that's going to change the city's financial statements one way or the other coming up. So that's good. It's a break for Julie and the auditors. But these are what are on the horizon coming up. And we do continue to offer free CPE to all of our clients. Their quarterly sessions, you get 28 hours of free CPE. They're heavily government accounting based. Julie and her team attend those. We appreciate their attendance in those, and anybody else at the city is welcome to attend, and we can get you signed up. And that's it. Like I said, you got a clean opinion, and the audit went how it's supposed to go, and we appreciate the city working with us to get the audit done every year. And if there's any questions, I'll be happy to take them.
Questions from council? Nothing? All right, good job.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Julie. All right, under approval of minutes this evening, we have 4 sets of minutes. Leslie, you got it?
Motion to group all of these together and approve the public hearing minutes from June 13th, public hearing work session minutes from June 13th, regular meeting from June 8th.
18.
Oh, I'm sorry. I could put my glasses on. June 18th, and City Council special called meeting from June 26th as submitted.
A motion and a second to approve all 4 sets of minutes as submitted. Any discussion on those items? All in favor? All right, that is unanimous. That'll take us down to a second read that we have this evening. We have the alcohol ordinance amendment.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make the motion to allow the city attorney to read headings only.
Second.
A motion and a second to read headings only. All in favor? All right, that is unanimous.
All right. This is the second read of this ordinance. It's an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances of the City of Chamblee, Georgia, Chapter 6, Alcoholic Beverages, and for all other lawful purposes. Part 1 does amend Section 6 to provide a definition of beer and malt beverage. Part 2 amends Section 6-46 to provide restrictions regarding distances from schools and churches for certain alcoholic beverage licensed entities. Part 3 amends Section 6159 to regulate downtown eating and drinking establishments. Part 4 amends Article 6 by adding a new Section 6-162 to regulate downtown wine shops. Part 5 amends Article 6 by adding a new Section 6-163 to regulate self-pour establishments. Part 6 is just savings provision that makes the provisions of the ordinance severable if any part is not enforceable.
That's it. Thank you, Madam City Attorney. This is a second read and will require action this evening.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the alcohol ordinance amendments as read by the city attorney.
Second.
Motion and a second to adopt the ordinance as read by the city attorney. Any further discussion on this item?
I would want to ask the city attorney on the square footage for the wine shops. Could you confirm what that is?
Yes, the wine shops would be regulated so that they could have no more than 2,000 square feet of interior floor area accessible to patrons.
There was just some discussion about that, and I just
Right.
wanted to make sure it got absorbed, so
Yes.
it sounds that it did.
Yes.
Very good. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor? Jimmy? All right, that is unanimous. That takes us down to new business this evening. Under staff action items, we are back to the URA bond resolution and IGA.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion adopting the resolution authorizing the execution of various documents related to the issuance of the URA with the City of Chamblee, Georgia's revenue bond, including the intergovernmental contract with the agency.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Y'all didn't want to hear this again? He's ready to present again.
This is going to say something different.
Have a
Good.
motion and a second to adopt the resolution authorizing the execution of various documents related to the issuance of the Urban Redevelopment Agency in the City of Chamblee, Georgia's revenue bond, including an IGA contract with the agency. Any further discussion on that item? All in favor? And that is unanimous. All right, we have a resolution appointing the Public Facilities Authority members and establishing initial terms of office. Did you want to have anything to say on that? No?
Discussion happens after the motion.
Not on this one, because we presented this one Thursday, but this is the, not to be confused with the URA, the PFA is the one, I know this is very confusing because we're doing it the same night.
So many acronyms.
I know. And the same process, too, which makes it even more confusing. But you all, this is for you all to appoint the board of the Public Facilities Authority, and I believe it requires that they appoint the chair and the vice chair as well. Separate meeting. It is where you appoint the city attorney as the attorney for the PFA, so.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion adopting the resolution to establish City of Chamblee Public Facilities Authority and appointing members of the PFA Board, and appointing the city attorney as the attorney for the PFA Board.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution establishing the City of Chamblee Public Facilities Authority and appointing the members of said authority and the city attorney as the attorney for the authority. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor? And that is unanimous. We have the approval of funds for Babe Walls Mural Festival.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion approving, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. Making a motion approving the allocation of funds for the Babe Walls Mural Festival as presented by staff.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve to allocate the funds for the Babe Walls Mural Festival as presented by staff. Any further discussion on that item? All in favor? And that is unanimous. Now we have the city manager appointment.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion appointing Kristen Gorham as the new city manager for the City of Chamblee.
Second.
Who got that?
We all said it, I think.
I think everybody got that.
I think it might be a controversial vote.
All right, I have a motion and multiple seconds. I don't know who got it. You got it? All right, clerk's pick to appoint Kristen Gorham as the new city manager for the city of Chamblee. Any further discussion on this item?
Mr. Mayor, I think we'd be remiss in not thanking Mr. Button for stepping up over the last 7.5 months as our interim city attorney and helping us through a busy first half of the year. It has been a tremendous pleasure and honor to work with you, and we hope we can keep you around to help with some other projects.
That'd be great. I just want to say it's been a real joy to work with you folks. I never thought I could jump into an interim job and have these kind of relationships built, not only with the council, the mayor, and the staff. And I just want to thank you for allowing me to serve you for 6 months.
Which one of us did you enjoy working with the most?
That is a loaded question. I love you all.
He tells me all the time I'm his favorite council member, so I'm just saying.
Well, I'm his favorite mayor, but there's only one. Chuck, thank you. I sincerely thank you. You really got us through a time that could have been very difficult, and it was very smooth. And it's just been a pleasure to have you with us. And I know you're not going far because you're going to stick around and help us with some other things in the future. But again, I'll second Elmer's thoughts on that. Just thank you so much for holding the ship together for us.
Thank you, Mayor. I really appreciate it. But I think we should also, right now, give Christian a round of applause and then welcome her as new city manager.
Should we vote on this first? All in favor? All right, that is unanimous. Thankfully, that could have gone really wrong right there. Welcome, Kristen. All right, next item up we have this evening is the Dresden Elementary Development of Community Impact. Who's got this?
Motion? I think I do. I
Okay.
think I do.
All right.
I think I can. I think I can. Motion to approve as submitted by staff with following all the conditions. Hold on. No, I'm messing my computer up. With all the following conditions, variance from section 240.13 to not set back the parking 20 feet, variance 240.13B to not provide a continuous landscape buffer at least however many 30 feet wide along all side and rear property lines adjacent to NR1, variance from section 240.13B 47A5 to exceed the maximum building height from 50 feet to 60 feet, waiver from section 230.26G1 to allow the supplemental zone to not be hardscaped, waiver to not locate the facade immediately adjacent to the supplemental zone, waiver to not provide a minimum fenestration of 30% of the length of the building facade, waiver number 6 to reduce the publicly accessible open space from 50 to overall space on site to 0, waiver from section 320.12, we don't need that stuff, to not install buffer landscaping, waiver to not install landscape islands, waiver to not install the 5-foot wide grass strip between head-to-head parking, and waiver to exceed the driveway entrance from 24 feet to 38 feet wide. That's needed for buses, I would assume. Waiver to allow driveways and drive aisles between the sidewalk and the building. The ones that I'm going to change a little bit are denials. There are 4 denials. Variance to not provide compact parking spaces, I'm fine with that. Waiver to reduce the landscape strip from 5 to 2 feet. I would like to keep it at 5. Here's the one I want to change. To waiver to not install the street trees within the landscape strip. There's a 5-foot landscape strip, and I think that we have, over time, seen the error of installing trees within a 5-foot landscape strip. It tears the sidewalk up, it tears the street up, it puts the trees too close to the street, and they get pruned every single time a vehicle goes by. I think they need to be behind the sidewalk, and that's the only one that I want to change. Number 3, waiver to not install the pedestrian lights within the landscape strip. These 3 of these are denied. One of them is not denied, and that is number 2. Is that clear to everybody?
Clear as mud.
Did I confuse you
A
all?
little. And then my only, I'll second that.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Sorry. I wanted to ask, this also has the DRB recommendations included in the staff recommendations? Did they get incorporated, or are they a separate?
Yes, sir. Councilmember, the DRB recommendations are in bold on the presentation on the following page. Councilmember Robson stopped with number 3 on the first of the denials, and then on the following 2 PowerPoint slides, you'll see the DRB recommendations. I can read them if you'd like.
So that were they, in your opinion, were they included in Leslie's motion?
Yes, if she's not making any changes to the
Then
rest
I
of
want
the
to make a friendly
denials.
amendment to make sure that the DRB recommendations are included.
Very well.
You accept that as?
I accept it.
Okay.
Down on bended knee.
All right.
All right, I think
All
we're good.
right. So I have a motion and a second to approve in part and deny in part as stated by Councilwoman Robson with a friendly amendment from Councilmember Mesa. Any further discussion on this item?
Are we also requiring that the staff recommendations are also included? Those staff recommendations were not included in the initial motion.
The staff recommendations for approval and denial?
Yeah, at the bottom it says, should council desire
I'm
to
waiting for it
approve.
to come up. Waiting
So
for it to come up.
desires to be constructed, substantial conformity, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Can we just be
There's
safe, just go ahead and add that as a
There-
friendly amendment?
There are 13 points to be added.
Oh, okay. Including staff recommendations as well.
Very good. So
Friendly
we'll
amendment accepted.
have a second friendly amendment to include staff recommendations. Any other discussion on this item? All right. All in favor? And that is unanimous. All right, we got ourselves a school. Go start building. All right, next up is 3300 Burke Drive.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to defer this item till next month's meeting cycle.
Second.
All right, so I have a
Second.
motion and a second to defer this item to the August work session. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor?
Well, hold on. Does he need to say anything? Go ahead. You don't need to say anything? I think we covered it. Okay. All right. Yep. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go
All right.
ahead.
All in favor? And- And that is unanimous. We have 1888 Keswick Lane.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to defer this item to next month's meeting cycle.
Second.
A motion and a second to defer 1888 Keswick Lane to the August work session. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor? And that is unanimous. And then finally, we have 2840 Northeast Expressway.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion directing staff to seek additional input from council members to create options for the SSD area coverage map and to establish what the potential funding sources would be, what the potential funding levels would be with a millage rate of 1.75 mils.
I think this is a dumpster.
Oh, sorry, wrong one. I'm ahead of myself. Sorry. Sorry, disregard that.
That was a
Sorry.
Yeah,
complicated
that's under Councilman First.
Sorry, my brain's ahead, sorry.
No worries.
Motion, hold on. Let me get to this right place. The subject is PZ 2024-13-15, 2840 Northeast Expressway.
Yes.
Motion to approve with the following, with the conditions as recommended by staff, period.
Very good. Motion and a second to approve with conditions as recommended by staff. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor? And that is unanimous. All right, that takes us down to council member items. And that takes us to the Dresden Special Services District, and I'm going to assume that Councilmember Vythe is going to do this one.
Yeah, I'll take this one.
Again,
In the absence of Councilmember First, I'd like to make a motion directing staff to seek additional input from council members and to establish map options for a special service district in the Dresden Park area, and to give us feedback on what funding would be created with a 1.75 millage rate.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to direct staff as stated by Councilmember Vythe. Any further discussion on this item? All in favor? All right, and that is unanimous. And that will take us down to public comments this evening. I'll read the rules of order. The mayor is the presiding officer. All remarks shall be addressed to the city council as a body and not to individual members. Anyone wishing to speak shall come to the microphone, give your name and address to the city clerk. Limit remarks to 3 minutes unless further time is granted by council. Not speak a second time until everyone wishing to speak has spoken at least once. Do not speak unless you have the microphone and have been recognized. Anyone wishing to address council this evening, please come to the microphone. Anybody? Nobody? All right. Nobody wishing to address council this evening. Do we have executive session?
Yes, for litigation.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to enter into executive session for matters related to potential litigation.
second.
A motion and a second to enter into executive session. All in favor? And that is unanimous. All right. Y'all, who's bringing Jimmy?
My knowledge is thin on it.
But you know anything that's driving that, or just maybe wanted to wait to see how rates turn out? Or?
Well,
Because
the only thing I can tell you is I think they have some concerns whether or not watching that plane take off. You get a lot of them here. Whether or not, what's the economy going to do? Could we save more money if we got further down the road? I don't know. But I got to talk with Nita next week to find out where are they. I don't know.
Got it.
I don't have a time yet. I told her I'd call her. She's out Friday and Monday.
Yeah, she's going
And
to get her graduation.
Yeah, and I told her, I said, my week is such, we both agreed, we didn't have it about 5 minutes. She said, we'll just have to do it next week. I said,
Okay.
so I'm supposed to call her 7 times.
So do you think there's any harm in proceeding with the PFA meeting that we scheduled, knowing that we would, this is back on this property? Coming along at some point.
I think right now we're just trying to protect the potential schedule of the vote.
I'm glad I met the head of all the
I don't know if there's any precedent for that, but we can try to work through it.
yours, John. All right, we need a motion to exit executive session.
Motion to exit executive session?
Second.
A motion and a second to exit executive session. All in favor? You can't see Jimmy. Is he in favor? Is he still there? Exiting executive session. All right. All
Okay.
right, that is unanimous.
Motion to suspend the agenda and to add an item.
All right.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to add an item to the agenda. Any discussion? All in favor? Jimmy's ready to go.
Motion to approve the city's participation in the Kroger settlement in the National Prescription Opiate litigation, release all released claims against all released entities as those terms are defined in the settlement, and authorize the mayor to sign any documents necessary to effect the city's participation and release of claims as stated above.
Is that a second? Second?
Second.
Second that?
Have a motion and a second to, give me that, to approve the city's participation in the Kroger settlement, the National Prescription Opiate litigation, release all claims, and for the mayor to sign any documents necessary. Any further discussion on that? All in favor? All right. Jimmy voted twice. I don't know if that's legal, but all right. All right, that's it. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? And that is unanimous. Thank you.